So, well, at the end of the day, I'd like to welcome all of you and everyone who is here as champs, sitting here and paying attention and following the discussion. Please allow me to call on the stage my discussion partners, Antal Varga from the Society for Retirement Community and Value Preservation, Edith Szabó Poszáni, Mayor of Somogyszentpál, Csaba Tóth, Lesenceistvánd, Mayor for Lesenceistvánd, Tibor Hoffner, who is the president of the Middle Transdanubian Federation from Taliándörögd, Marta Ivicz who is the president of the Public Foundation for the Preservation of Vászoly, and Tibor Szirbek, the mayor of Nagyesztergár. Welcome everyone, and maybe with a later conference it would be worth turning around the order. So first there would be a discussion, and after that a scientific analysis by the researchers. But it could have been interesting for you to be listening to what the researchers found when analyzing the PAITA program. So I have prepared, and let's just start our discussion from the title, because title can be a little bit of a paradox, but it can be also a suggestive title. And so I would like to ask for all of your opinion about what do you think? What makes a small settlement a driving force of a region? Isn't this a paradox? And if it's not, if it's possible in reality, as we have heard during the analysis of the PAITA programs, that there is huge success, so what is needed? We have seen a few characteristics, what were the ones that came out from the research, but I think it's interesting to listen to it, what subjectively is needed, what external and internal elements and resources are needed for this success. First of all, opportunity. When I read, I'm from Olaszfalu. We have 1,100 inhabitants. So when I hear small settlements, I immediately start praising the genius of the management of EKF, that they contacted us, small settlements. They convinced us, kept convincing us until we agreed. They kept contacting us. Because, let me say, by this cultural palette is full. What do I mean by that? Culture has allowed child, dance, theater. They are very loud. I didn't say it pejoratively, but please. The culture has two silent children too. The land culture and the culture of human relationships, which is very important, at least as important as the loud children. And the smaller the settlement is, the least possibility they had to carry out the louder options. But the small settlements also have huge treasures. Via Calvaria, mit hajnalka vörös, we walk through megye, and the beautiful treasures of Buckhorn. Nothing special. So the opportunity is important. We receive the opportunity and we can play in the field. Thank you. I'm the mayor of Somogyszentpál, and we are a small settlement. We are even smaller, 886 people live there, but I think this we don't have to measure with this. It can be maybe a 50 people settlement, but you need goals, dreams, and momentum. A region, we can contribute to the development of a region as a small settlement if we are continuously developing, if we are continuously in momentum, if you always create something unique. If something is started, we should start a new process. So I'm a really brave mayor, so I'm not afraid of anything. If I invent something, I always try to implement it, come hell or high water. But I think this was, there are qualities, the bravery, the momentum, and the teamwork. You don't always need financial resources for everything. You can create big things even if you have less money. So we joined quite late because we joined in May 2022 to the region, and I think we created big things, and we are very proud that we are among the settlements of the region. So it's my turn. Csaba from Lesenceistvánd, the mayor. Lesenceistvánd is at the border of the county, and some of our areas belong to Zala County, and the other areas belong to Veszprém County. We have heard this sentence many times today, that one sparrow will not make a summer. So how can a settlement contribute to the development of a region? Obviously, one settlement can be one sparrow, but when several sparrows join their forces, there's a bigger power. There's a saying that is very difficult for me because I'm alone. It's easy for you because there are a lot of you. So then look for partners for you so that you are not alone. And this kind of cooperation was what we encouraged. And the director, when there was the opening, she also mentioned the good name, Lesenceistvánd. This is what was given to us to the area where Lesenceistvánd is located, and they made us popular because 5 settlements in this area joined forces, and we cooperated with each other. We together invented this name, Lesenceistvánd, and by using this name, we started on our path. This name refers to the Lesence Creek, which is flowing into Lake Balaton, and the right and left-hand side of the creek. We have the Szentgyörgy Hill, Zalahalá, Balaton, Ederich, and Lesenceistvánd and Uzsa. So these 5 settlements, we cooperated with each other. So this is very important, of course. But if there is no cooperation, no networking, no partnership, it's not going to work. Then there's only going to be one sparrow, and we like flying together with others. Thank you, this is superb. Taliándörögd, we are also not a big settlement, and I think that we have had a joint thinking for a long time, and we know that we can only be strong together. And we imagined 25 years ago already, when we first thought that we would like to cooperate, that we have this little basket, and everyone puts in the basket whatever they have, whatever they can offer. And then from this basket, anybody can take out anything. And I think for the NKF, it happened, the same thing happened with the ECOC. So, to be honest, at the beginning, I really didn't believe that this is going to be a regional cooperation. I thought it would just sound nice, but it's not going to be real. But I think a lot of us thought that way. But then was a public, cultural, professional day where the mayor was there, and Gyula said, so Gyula Porga, and he said they really believe that it's going to be a regional cooperation, and they really believe in this. They take it seriously, and I'm very happy that we joined, because this is really what happened. So I didn't feel like a background settlement. I felt as a true member, an important part of the team, as a little been in that little basket, and we hope that we could add value and take out from that basket as well. So I think together we are stronger. Not a big juggler of microphones, so please provide some feedback whether you can hear me. So we heard a lot of smart ideas. I didn't hear how big you were, but we have less than 300 people in our population. We have a long history in the cultural area, but this cooperation, this support was huge, and I could add that it gave us momentum, and of course we got tired as well, and the community. So this really made our community enthusiastic, and I think we also contributed to the success of this ECOC by joining, because lots of us didn't even know that there would be this European Cultural Capital initiative. And what was started, this cooperation together with the neighboring villages, I think we can continue to do that. Thank you. Tibor Szirbek from Nagyesztergár, the mayor. And as I've heard here, the biggest settlement was 1,200 people, which is us. So we heard in a presentation that building a community is important, and for organizing cultural programs, it's important. It's great help for us because we received help from the Institution for Higher Education, and in the gems of Bakony settlements, they checked what were the local specialties for these settlements, and already with this step, they joined forces in these 4 settlements, and it was great. And with this, our cooperation started, that we have continued ever since. So for 3 years continuously. We have been working together for 3 years continuously, and this gives us great power, and I think this was the driving force also for the region. Thank you. Yes, it's really is the way the way it happened. But there was a remark that our village is a community without community. So I want to ask from each panelist, how did you feel about this? With the community building as a conscious goal that was set, as Lesenceistvand's mayor also mentioned, Taliándörögd also mentioned, that he didn't really believe in the beginning because he didn't think it was seriously well thought. But after Mr. Mayor Porga's presentation, he was convinced. So was there a conscious decision? Was there a feeling that you can keep together the community and build the community? So how consciously did you start? We were in a lucky situation. In Olaszfalu, we created the Pensioner Value Preservation Society, and there are about 50 members, and then I only had to tell the members that let's go, boys and girls, let's just do it. And we have 8 applications that we won, 8 winning applications, so we are recorders. Via Calvaria is the non-plus the best, but we had several applications that was about land culture, landscape culture. We had an international pastor celebration, international folklore music festival, folk music festival. So that we were in a lucky situation, I think. I think community building is one of the most difficult things, and working with people is also very difficult in the world. The most difficult thing in the world to find what brings people together.
So we just wanted with society with whom we work together, we wanted to really reach out to the children. We just had several offers, for example, art therapy, because it's very difficult to get pensioners out of their comfort zone. It is also very difficult to try to work with people who working, but with children, it's much more. It's much easier. Yes. So in Hungarian, we used to say that if Kati doesn't want to dance, it is very difficult to bring her to the dance floor. So yes, indeed, we do have to really make lots of efforts in order to be able to work with people, to motivate people. If you've got, and this is a case for us, if you've got a good culture project manager, a good culture center director, yes, you can do things. So we are happy to have them, and they launched a series of programs. The mayor had also its a role to play, because we've got a very strong civil society, and we work together with the Red Cross, the associations, societies, this pensioner society, and so on. We've got lots of communities which try to represent local values, and all these local societies are the yeast, and we try to make bread, and our ingredients are the societies which are linked together. And if we succeeded in Uzsa and in Lesenceistvánd, because we tried all the good ingredients and the yeast, and we could bake a very good bread, we could organize several festivals in Zalahalap, for example, and we organized a classical music concert in a church, in a chapel. I just wanted to really quote some examples. So if Kati wants to dance, it is easy to bring her to the dance floor. This is the key. So we had to convince local civil society players, local mayors, all these networks, all the activists to want to dance with us. And it was easy after that. Yes, I do understand that you love to use the symbolic of the yeast and the bread baking. Yes, if you know me, you can know that we are really committed in order to develop communities. And we got also lucky, because we've been in the heart of an ongoing community building process at the time. And we launched several things, but at the time we could not see how to go forward, how to go beyond. And we got lucky because we had this opportunity to connect to this program and do more and take more risks. So 29 settlements, and altogether just some millions of foreign, so not that many millions, some millions by settlements. But it is very interesting because we could organize things. We could have just organized a single concert with it, but we chose otherwise. We wanted to focus on activities that can be permanent, because for us it's really a question of life or death to maintain the young people in our settlement. So we tried really to act in this direction. And also, as we live in a certain settlement, we thought also that we can, with our human resource, to act for our own community. So in the beginning, we had not that much money. For us, it was a lot of money because we used to have much less, but it was not a huge budget at all. But we managed to really organize some programs, more than 30 programs. It's very important. And we organized youth conference, and we had interesting activities, and we targeted the younger people. So we really do seek to continue this program. Yes, and whenever you do it, whenever you act upon it, whenever you create together, it is something important. Yes, indeed. Because some millions of forints, it's not that much, but you've got added values to it. We could really create programs which themselves created values. Yes, I do think that we wanted to focus on community building. In our settlement, we've got lots of newcomers. So I did want to avoid animosities. Because very often we just live one next to the other. And I wanted to create community. So sometimes really what I do feel that those people who live now in our settlement, they just drive the children to the school in Balaton, come back and close the door, and that's all. They are not at all involved in our local community. So our settlement is small, there is no school. This is a real bad thing for us. You used to have a school, we lost it. And whenever we had a school, youngsters became friends and they played together, and families were gathered together. Parents got to know to each other, but not at all the case now. It's quite the opposite. So for us, the focus was the community building. So we organized some excursions. For example, an electrical bicycle tour around the Balaton Lake. We organized to Veszprém excursion with a guide. It was a huge success, by the way. So we had to gather together in a way where the old inhabitants and the newcomers. Oh yes, the conflicts between the old and the new. Well, it exists even in Veszprém and in our settlement too. In an older program, we had exactly the same focus. It's a great challenge indeed. And there is huge dilemmas how to install a balance in the community. Yeah. For example, in Olaszfalu, we organized a meeting of the newcomers. We called it the new home. So we've organized a second one lately, and it was a huge success. And Olaszfalu is just 20 kilometers from Veszprém, and 1/3 of the inhabitants are really newcomers, because these families just got the public help of the government in order to buy a house, and they are now living with us. community building, we started it in a conscious manner. And we had another project which helped us beforehand, the Jewels of Vászoly was the name of it, and we went on working in this direction. And what was very important now is that really we could create a community of partners, and we go on with our work. There was some interesting features. Whenever we succeeded in identifying our specificities, we became quite free and autonomous in the organizing of the specific programs. So, in Borzovár, for example, we had a stage, and we thought that okay, one settlement will do something, but at the end, no, we were four to work together at the end. And that is why we could identify more our micro-identity, and also we could strengthen links between these four settlements. Oh, great. I am so happy to hear that. I love your passion, and I really do feel that you are so happy to evoke these moments. I can feel it, that you loved every minute of it. If you could have a message towards the organizers of this European Cultural Capital Program, is there anything that you would like to change, or whatever, or solutions, or whatever? What would you suggest? I am thinking. But if I know well that Veszprém would like to become not only the capital of the culture but also the capital of the sport, it will become reality. And if we can join, we will join. That's what the lesson we learned, that it's great to be together, and it's cool, seriously cool. I do think that we created a team, and we were helped by a team which didn't commit any error. Really, it was error-free, errorless. We were helped. For example, when I wanted to join, I just called somebody, and it was the director, but it was great. And really, it was very good. And there was something interesting I experienced. When we were assembling our program, we wanted to propose to offer something unique. Our little settlement was quite a sleepy one, really, and I wanted to do something. And this program offered some opportunities, and we just wanted to do some street art festival, something illegal in this sleepy little settlement, because these artists, they love to create something unique, but normally they create at places that they should not use. And now we told them, that's okay, it's legal, on walls, and I told them, that's okay, we can do it. And then later on, I was really just like thinking, okay, what will I got? And I was so shocked, but in a very positive manner, because pensioners, old people came to see me saying, wow, it's so great now, settlement is a living community. So I was so happy. So thank you very much.
We'd like to thank everyone in the program. They gave us a lot, and I'm very happy and I'm proud that we have this table, the sign outside, and we will keep it as long as we can, and if it continues in any way, we would like to remain partners. Thank you very much. What should be done differently? I would say the coordinators and the director do it the same way as you did. I think it's a success story. Of course, not only Lesenceistvánd and not only the other 116 settlements, and for Veszprém, it was a success story because it's going to be written in history, at least in the case of Lesenceistvánd, that people were very proud of having the title of being the cultural capital of Europe. We were very proud of this, at least on the days people could feel it when we had the events. Otherwise, our last year's events, we managed to uplift on the international level, even in the small village, because our sister settlements, also our twin settlements, participated in it. We organized it that way, and we managed to set up a meeting where the Hungarian-speaking Hungarian people from 3 different countries, but as one nation, we could be happy that Lesenceistvánd could become the cultural capital of Europe. Thank you. Thank you very much. So my message is that let's think about it together and create the future opportunities for us, because just as we managed to put together in this symbolic basket whatever we have, I think we can achieve successes with greater chance if we keep together. I think the PAITA program and the Cultural Capital of Europe was a huge opportunity for us that we wanted to seize. And when you start a process, the decision maker also has the responsibility for that process. That's why I always make our decision as well, so responsibly, and I feel that I'm personally responsible that the processes that started, we managed to continue. Some of these will never be profit-oriented or self-sustainable, and sometimes, and I will never miss a child or a Aunt Mary from a program if they can't pay the fee. That's our responsibility to create the opportunities, and we need to move forward jointly in that, and I think it's not impossible. The only thing I was missing during the program was that we didn't have enough time to get to know each other. We saw each other's work only superficially. We could meet each other sometimes in other programs, but personally, I had the need to get to know other PAITA programs and check out others' activities. Exchange of experiences and knowledge would have been useful. And actually, that was also due to the fact that there was a dumping of programs, so there was so much work, everyone was so busy, they couldn't breathe. So this is not the fault of the team, the organizers or coordinators, but it's not too late because this is not big cost. I think if we host each other and we receive each other in a minimum cost, we can have bread and grease, let's say, and we can see each other's work and help each other. Tibor stole the show from me because I wanted to ask this, that first of all, really, thank you very much. It was a great success, huge team, fantastic ideas. And sometimes there were so many programs that I missed 5 programs because sometimes I miss 5 programs because I was also organizing programs. But now that we talked, I'm going to steal 2 ideas that somehow we should publicize our work. So to have like brainstorming or exchange of experiences, because I would like to steal some ideas from you. So it would be good if there was a continued cooperation. So I would be surprised if there was no plans in the pipeline for something like that. So I'm sure that it is going to happen. Actually, well, the message is let's continue, and the year has expired, but we hope and trust that the results will be visible and this community will remain and we can continue together on a certain level. On your settlement level, is there a specific idea how to continue? Is there society, cooperation, project idea, anything that was born out of this program? I mentioned Via Calvaria in a few sentences before. 14 settlements joined forces and we created a network, but when the program was over, it would have been lost, but thank God Magyar Polány came, Passió and Calvaria. We know that Magyar Polány is a brand name, and Magyar Polány became a gestor with what we have done, so we didn't let it get lost. So these 14 settlements will be extended to 28 settlements up to Székesfehérvár, and we will also involve Szirbek, so this treasure will not be lost. And you mentioned that we don't know about each other's events. For example, in Via Calvaria, there was a calendar as well. And these settlements also make this work. So it could work with other networks. So there could be a continuation of the system. We would like to use this long table picnic, and we want to implement this in such a way that we have a dirt road that links us to the neighboring settlement, and those who are not members of this program is Lesenceistvánd, and we want to reach to the other settlement, and then the others would join so into this table. So this is a cooperation among the two settlements. There are some marriages also, so I also have a mixed marriage from the other village. So the long table picnic for sure we are going to use as an idea. And I was talking to the director, Mária, the director of the Cultural Center, and we always collect ideas because then we don't have to invent these ideas. The most comfortable is if we can implement others' ideas. But of course it's unique if we invent something. But we are going to for sure implement this long table picnic. Thank you for the idea. Long table picnic idea we have already used on the 18th of August for the 20th of August celebrations, and we had some cookouts, and everyone received a table, and then we laid the table, decorated the table. But how? So in the end, the things that were actually born, it was amazing what they made out of scratch, and there were beautifully decorated tables by the end, so it was great. So this long table picnic I think is also good to keep in contact with each other, because the mayors of several settlements or cultural representatives, we managed to meet there, and it's great. What was the street art and street food was what was born out of this program, because if there's food, for sure people will show up, especially if it's new food, and then there will be always new buildings, so we can always paint and create new things, and then we can always see something new. It attracts the tourists, and I will also raise the idea for the Hungarian railways to paint the railway carriages. For us, what I would call as a child of this program is the youth program. This is physically implemented, so it's going to be there in the long run. And as long as this place is operated, everybody knows that this was done in the program with joint cooperation. It's important for all of us. And that gave such a power to the community, the young people that participated in building. Actually, they created their own place for themselves. So with their own two hands and blood and sweat. So I think it's very important that they received experiences in the meantime that really defines their bonding to the settlement, and probably when they have to decide where they are going to direct their lives, maybe this experience is going to define that, yes, I belong here, this settlement is important for me, this region is important for me, I want to stay here. We are important for each other. I want to stay and live here, and I will shape my life that way. This sounds like a big thing, and I think it is a big thing. So these small steps are needed just to reach that maybe one or two young people stay there, or it strengthened the community because the grandmother participated, the parents participated in the program. So from the project, 1.2 million forints were used, and the rest of the value, which is like 9 million forints, were added by the volunteers or the entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs also sponsor this. So I think it's a huge value that we created, and small steps are needed to start this. And that's why I always say that we have the responsibility to start these processes. I cannot tell you anything that is our own, because everything was born out of this program, the European Capital Culture Program, Cultural Capital Program, and we were always thinking how to do new things there where we could involve people from wide circles, all walks of life, all age groups, and so on. Well, for us, we have 2 children born out of this program, actually, because for a very long time, fried dough, langos, is a product that joined the residents, and with the twin it came out of the twin settlement friendship, because we have a twin city around the Rhone, River Rhine, and we took it there, and it became very popular, and now it's our own. So we have Langos Festival and Langos events, and related to the programs, a few people noticed in the settlement that there are no helping hands, so they came voluntarily to help. There were volunteers, but there was not a true helping intent behind. So now we have a society created who are there at each program. They are very helpful, come up with ideas. So we have the community as well. Well, this is the best closing words. Unfortunately, our time is up, but I really hope that we can continue. I really thank you for this discussion. It was a great experience, and not only you and for the settlements, it was so recharging and energizing, but only just to be listening to you for me was fantastic. So thank you so much for your time, and maybe now I think we can do the book review, and we will be fed as well.